Don't forget to put your phone on silent, eh?
My phone is on silent, yes, no.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Open Mic Foundation. I am Seshni Naidu, the host and the founder of the foundation itself. I'd like to welcome everyone that's live with us today on this beautiful sunny afternoon in South Africa. I want to welcome our guest today, Annamarie Botes. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Seshni. It's such a privilege for me to be here and to be able to share a part of my story with everybody.
Thank you so much for joining. I mean, I think a lot of people were quite intrigued, about your story. You very rarely get people with this line of conversation and this line of topics. So I want to say thank you so much in trusting in me and giving us the permission to, share your story around the world. So thank you so much.
Can I just say,
so
I specifically chose this topic from my story because I think a lot of people can relate to it, but we don't acknowledge it and we don't realize that what we're doing, So I think people will be able to relate to it and they would be able to say, yes, I've been there, I've done that. I hope my story will help somebody to realize what they're actually doing and to change.
Yeah, it's quite a conversation, leave alone a story, for I think more women to recognize some of the things that they do. I certainly can tell you, Annamarie, I am so intrigued by your story. I mean, yesterday when we chatted, I said to you, I don't want to hear it, because I would like to identify some of the things, maybe that's related to me. So I want to welcome everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining again. I want to say it is going to be a beautiful story that shares from Annamarie. I met Annamarie at an exhibition that the Open Mic Foundation actually hosted in March, and that's when she approached me and we had such a beautiful conversation, and I said to her, I would love for you, to be on to Open Mic. Annamarie's also writing an article in the journal as well called the Storyteller's Journal. It will be published on the 14th of July. So Annamarie, I will definitely send you a copy and I will definitely post it all onto the social media platforms, and you'll get also the edition on our website as well. Oh, so great. Before we go into this, I think Annamarie, just share with us, who you are, where you're from. The foundation has a global presence, so we just want to make sure that people understand where the storytellers are coming from as well. So before we get into your story.
Thank you. So I'm Annamarie Botes. I'm the mother of 3 children, and I've got a beautiful little grandson. So I'm a grandmother, which gives me so much joy. I work in finance. I am from Roodepoort, which is in Johannesburg, which is in Gauteng, which is in South Africa. Yes.
Thank you so much. There's quite a number of people that has joined. So I want to say welcome to you all. You have a lot of love that's already been shared to you. Thank you. Mariana, thank you so much. And Mia, thank you guys so much for joining. It's always nice to see the support that one has, when someone shares their story. You guys have been really sharing the pages from the foundation, and I do appreciate it. So thank you everyone that has done that and have been joining the site. I do appreciate that. So let's go into the story. Bullying my husband was my survival tool. Wow. Yes. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to you. So, guys, any questions, any comments, any thoughts, you're welcome to put it onto the chat. It is live. I'm going to be monitoring it, and if there's any questions that you may have, you guys are welcome to ask, and I will definitely share it with Annamarie. So go ahead, Annamarie.
Thank you. So my story started when I met my husband, Mark, and he was this kind, soft-spoken, soft-hearted guy. And that's why I fell in love with him, because of his kindness and of his softness. And he was just always there to make sure he cared a lot for people. He wanted to help. And that's why I fell in love with him. But I didn't know that Mark had a secret. And first of all, I want to say that keeping secrets is the most devastating thing that you can do in a relationship. Secrets
So
kills
true.
relationships.
So
So
true.
Mark's secret was that he was addicted to codeine.
Okay.
Codeine, which you get in cough mixture. So one of his friends introduced him to codeine because they worked very hard. And this guy said, if you take a bottle of cough mixture, you'll be fine. You'll have energy. But one bottle became 20 bottles a day. And what codeine
20
does,
bottles a day.
20 bottles a day. So what
Wow.
codeine does, it really changes your brain. It eats away at your brain. So you change, your personality change. He wasn't the same person. I could not understand what was going on with this man. So suddenly he was harsh, he was abusive, he would swear at me. He had this delusions that I'm having affairs, and I could not understand what was going on with him. Um, I just thought he's gone crazy. At that stage we moved towns because he found another job. So I thought maybe it's the stress of a new work, but it just escalated and just became worse. So much so that I called in his brothers to say, come and help me. I don't know what's going on. I can't handle him anymore. I need to divorce. I want a divorce. The brothers came, and what they didn't know Mark the way I saw him. And what happened at that meeting is that Mark burst out in tears and he was telling them, I'm having an affair. And that's why I want to divorce him. And that's why I'm making up all these stories. So the brothers believed him because they did not know the man I described. They did not know this brutal, ugly, harsh, horrible person that I described to them. They know him as the soft, kind guy.
Can I
And
ask you a question?
yes,
So I'm going to ask questions in between, right?
yes.
So it's very interesting that you say that. Do you not think that family will choose to believe or see what they want to see and not hear the truth?
I definitely believe that because in the end, they would have to look after him. Where would he go? So maybe that was at the back of their minds. We don't want this guy in our house. He needs to stay where he is. So I do believe that families will side with their family member, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So my first reaching out for help was actually turned against me. So they went away with a slap on my wrist to say, pull yourself together, stop this nonsense of having an affair and work on your marriage. And they didn't believe me.
Wow.
So then I thought, I cannot tell my family. I'm too ashamed to tell my family. I can't tell anybody else because they will not believe me. And the most important thing that you can do for somebody that tells you, I'm in a bad situation, is say, I do believe you. Even if you don't believe them 100% at that moment, you can investigate later. But the most empowering thing is if somebody says to you, I believe you. And then we work from there. So my first one was, we don't believe you. So I could not tell anybody. I knew I was on my own. I had to
Wow.
now fight for myself and I have to fight for my children. And all I could think of is I need to survive this marriage because my husband cannot get my kids. My kids will be destroyed if something happens to me. So my whole thing was just survival. So and that's where everything started. So I decided if I'm going to hurt him as much as he hurts me, he would eventually divorce me because he said,
Oh,
and that's when we in these abusive relationships, the men say to us, if I can't have you, nobody will have you. I'm going to kill you first and I'll kill the children because nobody else can have you. And we are afraid.
wow.
This is terrifying and traumatic. We are scared because we believe them. Because I always thought that when will he really do it? At one time she put a gun against my head. And I was so terrified that he might lose it. But luckily, he always could pull back. And when I started pleading with him, he would see reason and he would step back. But he would tell me on a regular basis how he's going to kill me, how he's going to kill my lover. He would have delusions of people coming into the room, having sex with me while he's in the house, and he believed that. He was also later diagnosed with bipolar, so where all these manic episodes that could explain those manic episodes. But that was my situation, and I just knew I need to make sure this guy divorce me or he leaves the home. So I started bullying him. So if he would say to me, um, I know you're having an affair, I would say, yes, his name is John, we're having sex, it's so fantastic, you are nothing against him. And I could see the pain and the shock in his face, and I would feel such joy, because now I'm thinking I'm getting him back, and that gave me power over him. If he swore at me, I would swear back at him. I would tell him on a regular basis he's useless, he's a drunkard, he's addicted to things. And I would say to him on a regular basis, choose. Here's your pills, and here's me and the kids, choose. But what I didn't understand at that stage, addiction is so strong.
It
People
is.
cannot choose. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand that. I thought it's easy to make a choice. I would definitely choose my family, but he was not able to choose. It was just too strong. And I would always say to him, you are such a weak person that you can't even choose your family. And I would
Did he
see,
go to any rehab? Did he,
yes,
did he?
yeah, yes, he's been in rehab about 10 times. And what happens in rehabs, that was in the beginning of late 1990s and the beginning of 2000. So what happened in that rehab is that they would see the Mark I fell in love with, because when they're in rehab, he's clean. There's no stress. There's no wife wanting to divorce you. There's no kids putting pressure on you. There's no work. Everything is fine and very calm in the rehab. And the people in the rehab, the healthcare um, professionals there, would see the Mark I fell in love with. And I would always go and say, here's my whole report of what he does and how he behaves and how he threatens me. And when he's there, he's this calm, beautiful person that I fell in love with. And that's what I see. So they would always call me in and say, Mrs. Botes, we don't understand. We see your whole file that you wrote, but we've seen nothing of that in Mark. Mark is helpful. He's always there for everybody. He's kind. He's caring, and I would say, but that's what he is. But I still want to divorce him because he is an addict. I can't, and he's threatening me. I'm scared of him. And they would say, but
Did that not make you angry when they came
very
back to you
angry,
and
very
told you
angry.
what a beautiful person he is?
Yes,
And, you
I was.
know,
Yes, I became very, very angry, and that's when they always say that we can see that you're the one with the problem because your husband is calm and he tells us you're having an affair. And I would say, yes, I do have an affair and I want to get rid of him. Tell him I'm divorcing him. And I would be irate. And they would say, but we can see that you're the one with the problem. Go home and sort yourself out. We're dealing with your husband. And what you're saying is not true because we can't see that in him. Nothing that you describe we witness, we can see he is kind and caring. And I would say, but that's how he is. That's his
wow.
personality. But he changes. He changed when he takes prescription medication, he abuses the codeine. Then he would abuse his prescription medication because I would send him home with a box of pills, literally a box of pills. It's uppers and downers and feel happy and feel sad and sleeping pills and I don't know what else, pain pills, and then he would abuse that. And that would just escalate his behavior of threatening and his abuse of me and his manic episodes. So
Wow.
I'm sure I'm always making this joke and say that I think they have a photo of me at all the rehabs to say that
Annamarie,
Are you still there?
Annamarie,
I'm still here.
you,
Can
yeah,
you hear
okay.
me?
You were gonna talk about your joke. You were joking about?
Okay. I was always saying that I'm sure at all the rehabs, they have a photo of me to say that do not let this woman in. She is crazy. Because at one stage, he came home for a weekend, and on our way back, we stopped at the garage, and he bought a packet of Panados, those bottles of 100, and he drank all 100 of them. And I was so angry with him. And he said, but he's got a headache. So I said, but even if you take one Panado, it's finished. Your rehab is null and void. So what happened? We got to the rehab. I got out, I grabbed his bag, I threw the bag over the fence, and I drove off. So that's how bad my behavior was. So, but I was so upset because he didn't understand that taking that Bernardo's just wiped out 6 weeks of rehab. And he couldn't understand
Wow.
it. And I was like crazy with anger. So that's the kind of things that I did. So I just threw him out through the back over the over the fence, and I
Wow.
left. Um, so that's what I'm saying. I'm sure they know of me, and my photo is there somewhere. But
Wow. It's, I mean, there's to a certain degree I can relate as well. Um, you know, you kind of see a person that you are married with for who they truly are, how they behave and how they react, and the illusions that they build. However, when you start to share with someone or share with someone outside of that, it's very hard for them, to understand
yes,
that
yeah,
this is your experience with this
yeah,
person,
yeah,
right?
no,
And when
definitely.
you say that or share that with someone, they automatically become defensive for no reason, right? For no reason. I've experienced that. I definitely have experienced that, and I'm just surprised, that when you mentioned it, it also really clicked for me as well. So yeah, quite interesting because you think it's you, right?
Yes, you think you're doing
Because you think
something
it's
wrong.
you. I
Yes,
mean, for
yeah,
many years, Anna Marie, and I can share as well, I thought it was me.
yeah,
You kind of point the finger back at yourself
yeah,
and you think, okay, is it me? Am I making this up in my mind? Am I seeing things? Am I hearing things? So
true.
that's a lot.
And you would
It's a
always
lot.
think, was it really that bad that I had?
Yeah.
Because a few days later, when everything has calmed down, you would always think, was it really that bad? Maybe I'm just exaggerating everything.
Mhm.
And then you would try again. Um, but what I also did in is that I would belittle my husband in front of my children. And I think that's what a lot of us, we do that. We use our children to get to the other person. My husband, Mark, would keep me awake at night with threatening and making sure that nobody comes into the house, screaming and shouting until about 3 o'clock in that night. So then he would go to bed. I had to get up at 5 to get ready for work, get the kids ready for school. Then at 6, when the kids are having breakfast, he would wake up and he would come into the kitchen and he would want to greet me, kiss me good morning. And I would be still in that I'm still remembering what happened last night, how frightened I was, how traumatized I was. And here this man comes and he wants to kiss me. And I would shout at him and I would say to him, F off. And he was like, say, what's wrong? He will be like, what did I do now? I just woke up. And I would say, do you know what you did? You are still breathing. You are still alive. I wish you died last night. And I said that in front of my kids, not realizing, and that's what we do. We do not realize what we're doing to our kids, how we're hurting our kids with our behavior, because we're selfish. I'm thinking, yes, I'm getting you back. I'm winning this one because I can say to you, die, I wish you died. And I could see in his face how that hurt him. And I would be so victorious. And I said, yes, you should have died. I wish I can just get rid of you by you just die in front of me. And he would be so shocked. And I would say, yes, this is my point. Kaching, I've won this one. Um, And then eventually what happened is I got a protection order against him
Mm-hmm.
because his behavior just escalated. And I was so scared that one day he would lose it. And, you know, you hear of femicides all the time. So I was
Mm-hmm.
very scared that he might lose his grip on reality and kill us all. So I got a protection order, and then he had to leave home. And for me, that was another tick in my victory list. So I've got him out of the house. Now my next step is to divorce him. And my next step is also to make his life as miserable as possible. So in doing that, I used my kids because he would phone and I would refuse to speak to them. We would
Wow.
go visit him. And if we're there for 10 minutes and I would decide that's enough, we would leave. I would not take into consideration my kids' feelings. I would just think, okay, we've been here. That ticked off. We've been here, even if it's for 10 minutes. I just greeted him and I would leave. And I would know, I could see that hurt. And I would feel joy of the, I would be happy for him to be hurt in that way.
You were
Um,
very angry.
I was very angry because I
Yeah.
was just thinking all the time, he's destroying all of our lives. And he has help. He goes to rehab. He can. And I didn't understand that he couldn't, but I always thought if he wants to, he can change. He's this beautiful, pure person, but he chooses to be this monster. I could not
Wow.
understand that. So, and then what happens in this situation, you can't love this person anymore. There's
Yeah.
nothing because all I have was this. I actually hated him at one stage because he's destroying my life. He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
want me to go. He doesn't want to divorce me. He's destroying my kids' life because they in this whole trauma. If he's good, all of us are good. If he's good, I'm good, and the kids are good. If he's not good, even if he wasn't at home any longer, that
Mm-hmm.
still influenced us. He's the way he was at influenced everything. It influenced me, it
Sure.
influenced my kids. So that's why I was so upset and so angry with him because he's destroying our lives and he doesn't realize it. And all he wants to be is just be part of a family. And I'm saying to him, but you've been part of a family and you're destroying it. You're throwing it away by choosing codeine, by choosing prescription medication, by choosing alcohol. Choose us. But he couldn't. Um, and then I thought I was very clever. I decided I'm going to divorce him and he's not even going to know it. That was my final victory. And my final abuse of him and bullying of him is to divorce him without him knowing. So I found somebody in Pretoria that where you do your own divorce. I'm not sure what it's called. But so I went to Pretoria. I lied under oath, and I have to confess this. I lied under oath to say that I don't know where he is. Um, and then we have to advertise it in a newspaper. So I'm saying that's great because he was English. He would not read an Afrikaans newspaper. So I advertised it in 3 Afrikaans newspapers just to make sure that he would not read it. He would not see the advertisement to say that, listen, your wife wants to divorce you. If you want to contest it, you've got 14 days. So he obviously never saw the advert. Um, and then the divorce was granted.
Wow. Without him knowing.
Without him knowing.
Wow.
And for me, I felt so much joy. I actually, when they say the divorce is granted, I just burst out in tears and I couldn't stop crying because for me, it was like, now I'm free of him. Now I've got that final cord. I can
Are you
live.
free of him though,
No,
considering that you
no,
still have children, right?
but that's how I thought. That was my
Yeah.
surviving
No,
method
I
was
think a lot
yeah,
of people think that,
to
right?
cut
Think,
all the threads, all the everything that bind us together. I've cut that, and that the divorce was final. So then I thought I have to go tell him, but I took a police somebody that I know that was in the police force. I took him with because I thought
okay.
if he gets violent, at least there's somebody to protect me.
Mm-hmm.
But also in doing that, I'm actually so ashamed to say that, but also in going there was my victory walk,
Mm-hmm.
if I can
Yeah.
name it like that. Because I walked up to him, I gave him the papers, and I'm like, I'm rid of you, you arsehole. This is it. I'm sorry my language, but that's how I
No,
spoke to him.
don't worry. It's okay. The people
So I can't
that's
I
the people that's viewing the people that is viewing it right now would definitely appreciate, yes, the language, no problem, but it's also an expression of who you are and the authentic side of you. All right. So there's no need to
yeah.
apologize. Okay. I just want to say that.
Yeah, because we can't sugarcoat the
Yep.
brutality of this.
Yep.
So I walked up to him and I was so happy. And I said to him, here is the papers. I'm rid of you. Goodbye. Good luck. You're out of my life. And the devastation on his face, if I look at, if I think about it now, I can see it so clearly. Just that absolute devastation of him realizing it is over. And for me, I was so joyful. I took pleasure in the pain I could see in his face. And I said to him also, this is the last nail in your coffin. Everything that you've put me through, I managed to divorce you. Goodbye. I'm rid of you. And I walked away, feeling so joyful and happy about it, not realizing what I'm actually doing to him, what I've done to him. I've just, once again, I've broken him in that moment. And I could see that by the way he walked to his car,
Yeah.
just by his whole body language. I could see it was broken, but I was so full of anger and hatred. I enjoyed that.
I just want to
Um,
pause you there, right, before you tell us your next steps. There's some beautiful comments coming from the audience. So I just want to share that quickly. Lizette said this is very encouraging to other women, so thank you.
mm,
And it is. Someone that's brave and have courage to have overcome what you have, to share what you are going through right now. It does take a lot of courage as well. So
thank you.
beautiful words. I think this is your friend Hannah. My
Yes.
friend, you are an amazing woman. Knowing that you went through was terrible, and an addict knows how to manipulate the people around them, even the people in the rehab. You are a strong woman, and I'm glad to know you.
Yeah, thank you, Anna.
Lizette also says thank you for being so vulnerable and real. You inspire a lot. Proud of you, Annamarie. Sorry, proud of you, Annamarie. You are strong and courageous. There is a question from Mia. I'm going to come back to that quickly. I thank God for a strong friend like you. May He bless you and keep His angels around you and the kids.
Thank you.
Um, Marianne, this is in Afrikaans. My Afrikaans is not the best. It is really not the best. I promise you. And Yonita says she's very proud of you. I'm just translating it in. All
Thank
right,
you.
my apologies, guys. Before we continue, Mia has a question. She says, "How can you break the addiction cycle?" I don't know if you want to address this question now or to the end.
I think we can talk about it. The addiction cycle, it's so difficult to break because only the addict can break that cycle. But what you can break is the cycle of abuse. I found myself in. Um, because the cycle of abuse is when he's good, we're all good. Then slowly but surely it
Yeah.
deteriorates, and without I'm even realizing it, then suddenly I found myself at the bottom, rock bottom. He's totally crazy, off the rails. I'm out of my wits. I'm traumatized. The kids are traumatized, and then it's time for rehab. We can break that cycle, but the only way you can break it is to be strong enough to say, this is it, and this is the last time, and follow through on it. Because what we do, we say a lot. I've said it every time he goes to rehab, I said, this is the last time. And then he comes back, and I see this beautiful husband of mine, and I feel him again, and he's kind again, and he's caring again. And I've got that hope that this time it worked.
And you
And then
get
we go
sucked
on.
back
Yes,
into that
yes.
cycle again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I must agree with you there as well. Me coming from a abusive marriage as well, I can honestly tell you as well, you see the guy coming through, you see your husband again, and
Yes,
oh, he's changed.
yes.
Oh, he's not changed one bit. He's not changed one bit.
But we want to believe it because I don't want to be a single, I still don't want to be a single person, a single woman. I don't want to be a single parent. And we always have that hope. There's always that hope that this time it's going to be different. So,
Yeah.
and then, but also the same thing with the a cycle of addiction. You're the only one who can stop it. You're the
Yep.
only one who can say, I'm walking
Yeah.
away and I'm not coming back, no matter what you say,
Yeah.
what you do. You can come on you can be on your knees for a whole
Yeah.
day begging me to come back. I'm the only one who can do that. And the same thing with an addict. They're the only ones who can. And you know what the sad part is? That we all are courageous and strong enough, but we
Yes.
don't access that. So if you're an addict, you can be strong enough to say, I want to break this addiction.
Yeah.
You must just access your courage and access your bravery and ask for help, because we don't ask for help. And that's
Yeah.
why we can't break it.
I'm just trying to move my PC because the sun is, I think
Okay.
it's coming through. So Annamarie, I must agree with you there, right? So there's two parts of addiction. You have the addict themselves, and then you have the person that is receiving the
Affected.
addiction on the other side,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Mia, I hope this is answering your question, because to Annamarie's point, an addict needs to help themselves in order for them to get the help and go through the process that they need to follow
Mm,
and get the right help that they need. However, you can't control what that person
mm,
does. So, what you can do is control yourself and what you do.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
breaking the cycle of what you need to do is something that you can control and that you can do. I must share something with you, Anna Marie. I have been married for 21 years,
Wow.
right? And I also went through that cycle. Okay. The second time he asked me for the divorce, I said yes,
Wow.
without any question.
Yeah, wow.
And guess what? He never filed for the divorce.
Oh,
He asked, but he
it
never
was just a
filed.
test. Yeah.
Guess what?
Just to calm you down.
I guess what? I served him with the
You,
papers.
well, okay, great. Well done for
It's
you.
it's time to go, right?
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
say something and not mean it, thinking that you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
No,
So
it's true.
I can tell you, Mia, from my side, that if you break the cycle, you do yourself justice, definitely
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Mia, I hope that helps you. I really do
But
hope that helps answer your questions. You have a lot of comments coming through, Anna Marie.
can I?
This friend has become, this is Maria, this friend has become family. I'll never forget the first time we spoke over the phone. So generous, caring, open, and vulnerable. Lucky to be associated with her.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
you are strong, courageous. The day we decided to choose life and our children and taking it back is the best day ever.
Yes.
In hindsight, when you look at, she's mentioned, I think she says marks. Guys, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that everyone's aware of this. The only reason Anna Marie is mentioning her late, mentioning her husband, is that
Yeah.
he's late,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You can only mention someone's name and associate it for two things. One, he has given you the permission to. Two, he's late.
Yeah.
So he's passed over. For an open forum like this, we're very curious about naming people because this can have legal action. So when Anna Marie and I touched base, I had to make sure and give her the permission that she needed to. Otherwise, we would have had to use alias. It is a public
Yeah.
platform. So we have to make sure that I protect you to make sure that we don't go over those boundaries as well.
Yes.
So
Thanks.
in hindsight, you look at Mark on the day of the divorce reveal, we can have empathy for him. as he was a broken boy who needed
Yes.
help. It is good
Yeah.
that you are sharing your story as you acted from a place of hurt and only later grew to understand the flight of the addiction.
Yeah. True.
If you think now, you can go back and redo. Oh, Kalash, it says, Tani Ann, if you think about it now, if you could have to redo, would you handle things differently?
Yes, definitely. Do you know what we do? Because with addiction, especially, you get so fed up with this person that does not want to choose life, but choose the codeine, and you break them down further. So what I want, how you can also break that cycle of addiction, Mia, is by uplifting this person, by saying to Mark, I understand what you're going through. Let's work on where this originated from. Mark's brokenness came from when he was a little boy, and things happened to him there.
Yeah,
So now I understand that. So now I would go back and try and help him to heal that brokenness that happened when he was 4 years old. um, and then uplift him instead of just always saying to him, you're useless, you can't even choose, you're not a good parent, you're not a good father, you're a horrible husband, look at you. So,
yeah,
but I understand why people do it, because we get so fed up, we get so
yeah,
tired of trying to help this person, and they just seems beyond help. So I would definitely change it, and I would definitely go back and not even no, it's not about love, it's about uplifting and empowering the addicts so that they can see what we see, that they can see that in themselves. And so,
yeah,
but maybe I am courageous enough, I am brave enough, and I'm strong enough to stop the addiction.
yeah,
It's taking whatever they're taking.
yeah. She
So I would definitely
acknowledges. Yeah, so Mia acknowledges the response. Thank you, Mia. All right, so we got divorced. You told him what
yes.
would happen next.
So then my husband, now Mark is living in a caravan park, and I thought, okay, now I'm rid of him. But it didn't happen, because now he phones 55 times a night. He comes to the gate. He shouts and screams. He still threatens. He sends people there to come and threaten me. Um, this whole thing just escalates now um, in even more shout. He doesn't threaten me physically now anymore, because he's not close to me, but he's still there. He's still in our lives. He's mental health still rules our well-being. Um, I'm still trying to
Wow.
keep the kids away from him. One day we went there, and I didn't even allow the kids to, because as he got out of his caravan, I could see that he's intoxicated. So I just drove away. My kids are traumatized by that. Mark is screaming and shouting. My kids are crying. And I'm like, I can't expose my kids to this man. Not explaining anything to them, just saying,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, if I could have stopped and said, listen, that is not well. That's why I'm leaving. But I didn't. I just said, we're going home. That's it. You saw him. He saw you. That even if it's just through the car window, everybody is traumatized. And I'm just leaving. And I phoned him later, and I gave him my peace of mind that he's so bad that he couldn't even make sure that he's well and that he's clean when he knew that we're coming to visit.
yeah. Wow.
Um, and I just belittle him even more. I just found pleasure in just showering with all these words that he usually shouted at me. I just shout everything back at him, how bad he is and how terrible he is. Um, but yeah, once again, I did not understand the hold that addiction have on him. So then he then has kidney failure, and because of all and now he drinks, he takes prescription medication, so his kidneys and his liver can't take that anymore.
Yeah.
And the doctor said to Mark, the next drink will be your last. And he was like, but I want that. I want my last drink to be my next drink to be my last, because I've got nothing to live for. I want my family, and I'm all alone. um,
Wow.
and I'm saying to him, Mark, but it's your choice. but in a harsh way, not in a
Mm.
so. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Suck it up. It's your own problem that you're here. It's got nothing to do with me. I tried to help you, but and sadly that's what happened. So he took. They were drinking one night, and his liver just burst. So he didn't wake up the next morning. He died in his sleep. So then I had to, his brother phoned me to go because I was closer to the place where he stayed. So somebody from the caravan park phoned my brother-in-law. He phoned me to go out and see what's happening. So I go there, and the sad thing for me, if I think about it now, I had no feelings. All the love that I had for Mark was just, there was nothing. I saw this man lying on
Yeah.
the bed. I had absolutely no feelings. It could just have been a stranger. Um, but I was sad for my kids because then suddenly I realized, but he's now really gone. Now there's no father. Um, and I didn't realize that before, but that I actually took him away from them. I denied him to be a part of their lives because of my own selfish reasons and because I just wanted to be mean to him so he can leave me alone. Um, and so I made that choice for my kids to grow up in a dysfunctional family by getting him out of the by forcing him basically to leave the house and then denying contact. They did have contact, but not on a regular basis, and only when it suits me. Um, so
There's a lot going on there. That's a lot, right?
yeah,
All I'm going to say is I think what I can say to you is that I think as much as you think that is what you've done, I also think you have to also acknowledge at the same time is that you are also protecting the children.
yes, no, I
So as
know that.
much as you, as
Yeah.
much as you try to, I'm going to put it in inverted commas, right? As much as you're saying that you were trying to keep the kids away, it was also about protecting them,
Yeah.
but in the same light, protecting him as well, right? From what damage he would have done more to the kids by
Yeah.
seeing him the way that it is. I mean, we can look at it in all different ways, but I do get your acknowledgement of your behavior as to your frame of mind at that particular point in time. How long since Mark has passed on, Annamarie?
He passed on in 2004. So how long
Okay.
was it now? 10, 15, 16 years.
Okay. All right.
Um, yeah, so then he passed away, and I was still living the life of abused women. I was still living just day by day, surviving
Yeah.
day by day. Well, that's what you do when you're in that situation. You only have to get through today.
Yeah.
So if you get through today, it's like, yes, tomorrow I can face because I got through today. So that I lived for the next 7 or 8 years. I just lived day by day. I could not plan. My kids were always saying, can we please go on holiday? And I was like, I'll think about it. Because a holiday for me is more getting intoxicated. So the last holiday we had together is Mark woke up in he had a manic episode. He woke up in the middle of the night. He was looking for his pills. He was convinced I hid them away. So he climbed onto the cupboard of the flat. We were at the sea, and he broke the whole top cupboard where all the crockery is. He broke that off. He actually pulled that off the wall, broke everything inside because he was convinced I stored his pills at the back of that cupboard. And what I did then is I packed my bags and we left. We left him there. I just decided I can't do this. So that is my frame of reference of a holiday. If something goes terribly wrong, or even a weekend away, something will go terribly wrong. I could not plan. I could not go. I could not get myself to go away for a weekend or go away on a holiday. And the first time that we could plan a holiday was such a victory for me. It was
Yeah.
it was like, yes, you can do it. Everything went well. We went, there was no issues. But still I was living this life of just surviving every day. Just not I had just a tunnel vision. I just need to do my work. Kids could just go to school, get the homework done, food,
I can relate.
feed the next
That's
day.
all that you have, right? Day by day,
Yeah.
has a day present yourself because I mean, from what you've just shared with us, right? Going through that amount of trauma and abuse, as much as you acknowledging what you had done to him, which I appreciate your vulnerability and humility. However, there was a set of abuse that you also were
Oh, yeah.
dealing with,
Yes,
right?
no, definitely. But that's
And
why I said I choose this topic for today, because I have, I can speak on my own abuse a lot, but I wanted today to just be about the fact that when we're in an abusive situation, we need to stop trying to hurt each other.
yeah,
We need to take a step back and take responsibility for the situation and
yeah.
stop using our kids as weapons. And sometimes it's a pet, sometimes there's no kids, but you use your pet. So you'll see a newspaper article,
Yes, I've heard
they,
about that.
yes, they in court, they're fighting about the
Yeah.
pets. It's the same thing. We in court, we're fighting about the kids. um you need, the father needs to go come pick up the kids for the weekend, the mother denies access. So we
Mhm.
use our kids to get to hurt each other, and we really need to stop it, because what we do is we model this behavior to our kids. Our kids go to school. Why do you think we've got this all this bullying happening at the moment? Because this is what
Yeah,
happens at home. The mother and the father, we're bullying each other. The kids see
yeah,
that, they model that behavior at school. For them, that's their frame of reference. That's how it is. Um,
yeah,
and
definitely.
and we need to stop that.
I must admit it. In some cases, you hear a lot of bullying happen at school with kids. For me, when I hear about things like that, the child is in despair and something
Mm,
has triggered him and has made him, you know, either he's witnessed it, right?
mm.
And or he is part of the abuse,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And which makes them act out at school, where
Yeah.
they tend to have more power over someone that's their age or younger,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
So bullying to me is very especially in kids, it's very, very severe because it's a reflection. As much as we can deny it as human beings, it is a reflection of ourselves. What we
It's
say, what we do, how we
yeah.
act in front of our children have a rippling effect as to how they behave and how they carry
Yeah.
themselves out,
Yeah.
whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so easy to become a bully.
Yeah,
It's so easy because you don't
yeah,
realize that. For me, it was survival too. For
yeah,
somebody else, it would be whatever. But and
yeah,
it's so easy. Before you know it, you in that that behavior becomes part of you. That behavior becomes who you are. And that changed me because I'm not a bully. I'm not like that, but I changed. I became this horrible person because I
yeah.
wanted to hurt him.
Okay, so you've been through this experience. You said between 7 to 8 years, it took you to be in this victim
Yes.
mentality or abuse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, in a few summaries, and listen, what you've just shared, there's probably so much more inside there, right? Of what you went through. I can only imagine how much more
Yeah.
underlying, because you just told us the tip of it, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know you just told us the tip of it, right? So, you got to this place, 8 years later.
Yeah.
What happened?
S-
What made you change?
So what happened is a friend of mine from work said to me, "You can't come to work every day and share that now he's done this and this and this," because we don't always want to hear that. We get
No.
tired of the story because we say to you every time, "Leave him," and you say yes and you go back. So she says, fantastic advice, and I always give this to everybody, is write everything down. Write everything down. He said, you said, what you did, because that is your first step to healing, is to write everything
Yeah.
down. So that's what I did. Every evening I wrote everything down, but I never read what I wrote.
Okay.
I wrote books and books, and I just threw it into into a box. And
Yeah.
after about 8 years, I started cleaning out cupboards. See how slow I am. After 8 years, I was thinking I must get more
And
stuff
that's
out of the house.
okay. And
But
that's okay, right?
then I found all these books, and I read these books, and I realized I realized the trauma that I've been through. I realized what he has done, because when you're in that situation, you forget it, because I just need
Yeah.
to survive. I can't remember what happened yesterday, because that would pull me down. I need to just focus on today. So all the things that I said, that he did, I did. That's why I know exactly what happened, because I wrote everything word for word down. So, and I read these books, and I was so depressed. I actually lied under my bed and I just cried and cried and cried, because I was thinking, how could you do this to yourself? How could you allow this to happen? And that's why I saw this circle of abuse. That's why I saw, but now it was good and everything is, and then slowly but surely it changed. Um, and actually wrote about it. And then I started telling my story. And that for me was so empowering. It gave me my life back. Suddenly, you know what happened to me is, in that whole thing of the trauma, I lost the ability to see color. I could only see black and white and gray. And my daughter would attest to that, because I would say to her, I need a new duvet, I need flowers. And we'd go to the
Wow.
price, and she would say, look at this beautiful. And I said, but it's gray, it's ugly. I need colors. I could not see color. But after I've read all my journals, and I've worked through it, suddenly one day I came home and I just saw stuff. I just saw colors. I saw flowers. On my way home, I saw the flowers. I see green leaves. And I came home and I was like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And my kid's like, yes, mom, we've seen it.
So this is what happened with you.
Yes,
Your sensory perception was dimmed by thought.
yes.
So
Thank you.
your sensory, so usually you feel, you smell, everything that you have from a sensory perspective is up, right?
Yeah,
And if you think about it,
yeah,
all the trauma and the perceptions that was in you, the thought that was going through your mind for those years, blocked it out. So what happened with
yes,
you is that you couldn't see because of the
yes.
perception and the
That's
thought process that was
exactly.
happening with you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And yeah, and then I just decided, but I can take my life back. I can see color. I want to
yeah,
sing. I want to dance. I want to color
you
my hair. I want to live.
so you
Um,
unblocked that sensory. That's what happened.
I unblock. Yes.
Yeah,
And that's the good news that I also want to share, that no matter where you are, no matter how deep and dark you in the darkness that you find yourself, you can get your life back. You can live a full life again.
yeah.
But
Absolutely. I totally, totally support that, right? It's because at the same time, it's the choices that you make
yes,
that will change the course of your journey and your path.
yes, yes,
You need
yeah,
to ultimately take control of these choices and
yeah,
decisions that you make in
yeah,
order to change that journey. I mentioned to you, the fund when I created the foundation, I had so much of pain, Annamarie, pain. You don't know what to do with the pain. You don't know how to go. You don't know how to, and pain becomes
Jesus, either
purpose.
my
Can
okay,
you hear
so
me?
either my network, and I can hear you again. Sorry.
Okay.
I see
So
my
you have a
network
few
is
comments coming through again. The sad part is that someone as beautiful as you had to go through all that pain. The good part is that you became an even better person. Love you lots.
yes,
May doors
that
of
is so true.
prosperity open for you. And you wrote a book.
Yes, I wrote a
Did you
book.
write a book?
Yes.
Do
I
you have
wrote
a
a book.
copy of the book?
I do have a copy, yes. Not with me, but I have a copy. It's called The Monster Who Swallowed My Husband. So I self-published it.
I have to say this. Hannah says, now I know why your house is so colorful. What a beautiful
Yeah,
soul.
that's
So we
right.
learned something
I wa-
new. So we learned something new. Um, Elmarie says, someone said to me, the first time you are abused, you are a victim, but the second time you're a volunteer. If a man lifts his hand
no,
against you and or your children, physically or emotionally, you need to walk away it will get worse. Do not allow it all, believing it will get better.
It's so easy to say those words. It is so
Yeah.
easy, but it's so hard to walk away, because he would lift his hands, or he would abuse you, and you would say to him, "This is the last time." He would turn around and he would show you the husband that you
Yeah.
married, the man that you fell in love with. There's no
Yeah.
way that you can just walk away.
I
And
agree
it's
with
so
you.
sad if people say that the second time you're a volunteer, because
Mm.
you always hope that it's going to change. Nobody wants to be a single parent. Nobody wants to be abused. You
Can I tell you
always have
something?
that hope.
Can I
Yes.
tell you something? And I don't know if it's true for you. Okay. I said to you, I was physically abused for many, many years,
Yeah.
right? I still chose to stay with him. And I can honestly say, when I speak to a woman that's been abused, there's one reason why a woman stays with a man that still abuses her. It's because she still loves him.
Yep.
Can you
That's
say the
true.
same? And
That's true.
as much as you feel the pain goes away, the bruises go away. Emotionally, you sense it, you feel it, it becomes a memory, it goes away. However, as time goes on, the love deteriorates.
Yeah.
But the
Yes.
only reason a woman stays with a man that faces abuse, no matter what abuse is it, is
Mm.
because the woman
Yeah.
still loves a man. And
Yeah.
no woman that can tell me that's abuse doesn't say that. I
Yeah.
will take you on.
But that's so important. That is why it's so important to write it down. So you
Yeah,
go and you write down, he hit me, this is, or he did this, or this is the words that he used. And by the third or the fourth time, if you go and you read it, then you'll start to realize, but this is actually what's happening.
yeah,
There's a trend, there's a circle.
yeah,
Um, because you survive. You
yeah,
forget those bruises. You
yeah,
forget those words because you have to survive.
yeah. I can truly tell you as well. I forget as well. And to your point, I also have journals.
Great.
Well, I have journals, right? I have journals.
Yeah,
And that's, when you a lot of people, whoever journals will be able to relate to this, right?
yeah.
When you journal, is that when you write what truly happens from
Yes.
the heart from your
Yeah.
journal.
Yeah.
The saying goes, when you journal, you live your life twice.
Yes, that's true.
The truth is in the written, and what you live is a second life,
Yeah.
but doesn't necessarily represent what's in that
The
journal.
same. Yeah, the
And they
same. Yeah.
say the journal is a representation of you living twice.
And that's why it's so important to read what you wrote,
Yeah,
that you can realize what
yeah,
situation you're in.
very much so. Very, very much so. Wow, what a beautiful story, Annamarie. You're a beautiful soul. When I met you in March, I was so overwhelmed with, your encouragement of the exhibition. And you came to me and you introduced yourself. I was so blessed to have met you then. Really, really a beautiful soul. And thank you for being real and vulnerable and just having the courage, to come and share your story. And yeah, you need to, okay, so on the Facebook group, I need you to share the book name for me, please, because I don't
Okay.
know about the book, right? Um, so
Okay.
Elmarie
I'll take a
says,
picture of the cover.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, just put it in.
Thank
Believe
you.
me, I know that this is why I said someone said that to me, because all stays too long. The lessons learned are great though. Thank you, Almarie. Somebody mentioned that to her. So yeah, I
Thanks.
understand.
Thanks, Elmarie.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah.
will say a lot of things based on their experience as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, I want to share something. Yes, Anna Marie.
I need to say one thing more. We
Yes.
always say do not get involved. But I
Hmm.
say do get involved. If you can see, if you look in somebody's eyes, you know this person
Yes.
is in trauma.
Yeah.
And getting involved by, you don't have to solve their problem. Getting involved is just, can we go for coffee?
Mm.
Can I help you? Can I take your kids for a few hours? Can I come wash your dishes? Can I bring a plate of food? That's
Yeah.
getting involved, not taking you out of the situation, but so that that person knows I'm here for you.
Yeah.
There's a support
And
structure if you need it.
I also see it in the eyes as well. I also do.
Yes, you can
I
see it
also
very
do.
much.
Yeah, you do see it in the eyes. So, guys, I want to share some news with you. I spoke to you that I've met Annamarie at an exhibition. So, the Open Mic Foundation has an exhibition called The Resurrection. The Resurrection is a rebirth of one story. So, we created this exhibition to raise funds for the foundation, where we select storytellers and artists together, where an artist will actually create a visual art piece based on a storyteller story. Okay, so Anna Marie is going to be featuring at our next exhibition.
Yay!
Yeah, so she and I have been speaking, and she has agreed the next exhibition is in Cape Town. However, we will always have one in Gauteng. The one in Gauteng is finished. We will just check if we're going to be doing another one this year. If not, it'll be early next year. But Anna Marie is going to be our storyteller at the next exhibition that will be hosted in Gauteng. And I'm hoping that you guys will come through and to showcase this art piece that will be created out of your story as well. Anna Marie, it's going to be absolutely amazing to have you there. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you,
Some more
Seshni.
comments. You open up a lot of emotions. Very true. Thank you for
Mm,
showing me you can carry on living and find your own joy. Tia, I
yes.
must say to you, there is so many people, but more especially women, that have
Mm,
been through so much in this world. It's up to
yes.
you to decide and to choose what is best for you. No one else can do it for you,
Mm, that's
whatever
true.
that may be.
Seshni, and if there's somebody who wants to contact me, you can definitely
Hmm.
share my contact details with them.
Okay, will do.
Yeah.
She's awesome, has a heart of gold, ready to serve wherever she can. This is what she does, continuously involved. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna touch a lot of lives on the exhibition, Anna Marie, that's for sure. Guys, if you guys want to get in contact with Anna Marie, just pop us a message and give us some insights. Is if you want to contact her, she is connected to the Open Mic Foundation. I'm happy to share her details with you if there's somebody that wants to. We can also DM her if you want to. Facebook her, you'll see she's on Facebook as well. And then also myself, if there's something that I can help you with, no problem. Open Mic Foundation looks a lot for stories of women. Even men have come onto the platform. In fact, our next storyteller is from Cape Town, and he's coming on the 11th of July. And I invite all types of storytellers to come on and to share their stories and their inspiration for so that a story can help someone else.
Yeah.
And knowing that you're not alone and that we are no different, right? Yeah. Any last final words?
Thank you for this amazing platform. So I want to say to everybody out there that's listening, if you've got your story, if you have a story, I'm going to be on you to to contact Sheshni. I know who's got stories to tell. So I hope there will be a lot more people that will be able to share their stories on this platform. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
this
Guys,
opportunity.
yeah. So, I mean, Hannah says, thank you for your platform. I will share this to the people with the same hurt. Thank you. Guys, the only thing that I ask is that we share this fast and wide. Open Mic is looking at opening up something next year. I shared with Anna Marie the vision that we are looking for Open Mic. I am busy looking for collaborators, partnership, corporates, and we want to open up something next year. It's going to be called the Story Room, and the Story Room host open mic. And there's going to be lots of things that's going to be happening. We are a global platform that shares stories from across the world, and we welcome all storytellers on this platform that is willing to share a story. We also have, if you're not willing to come and sit with me and have a great conversation, I have a journal, which is a digital magazine, And that magazine, you can write your stories in there and you can add images. So you'll see Annamarie's stories coming out on the 14th. You're welcome to have a look at that. And if you are interested, you're welcome to contact us. And then also, if you guys are looking at, having, so Annamarie, I also have this thing called the kitchen talk. So I bring people to my kitchen because where do women do their talks better than
In
a
the
kitchen,
kitchen.
right?
Yes.
So I love bringing different women across my kitchen, and we have a talk based on a particular topic. So next month's topic, so we had a kitchen talk this month for the youths, and that topic was called, "Is marriage overrated?"
Ah.
What a conversation
Sounds
that
good.
was. We have another talk next month, and they are looking at also how choosing your marriage partners and stuff. I must actually speak, and maybe you can be a part of that kitchen talk. This will be interested if you are. I'll get in contact with you.
Okay, thank
And then
you.
you can see. Yeah. But
Yes.
guys, we're gonna have to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much, viewers. You can connect with us on Facebook on Open Mic Foundation. We also have a private group which is Open Mic for Women. We also have our Instagram account, which is open mic underscore. We also have a YouTube channel, which is the Open Mic Foundation. And you can catch us up on our website, openmicfoundation.org. We are a non-profit organization. I am based in Pretoria, Gauteng, if that you want to call it that, in South Africa. So, Annamarie, thank you so much. Is it your birthday on Friday?
It is, and I'm
Oh,
59.
oh, happy
Thank you.
birthday for
And
Friday.
and I love
And
celebrating my birthday, so I don't
oh
mind
no,
my age.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. And,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday. May
Thank
this
you
year
very
be
much.
filled with love and
Oh,
happiness and success for you. May this year bring you joyous
oh,
happiness and love and lots of hugs and kisses. And
thank you
yeah,
so
have a
much.
great birthday on Friday.
Thank you very much, Shishni. I appreciate it, and thank you for the opportunity. I really
Oh,
loved sharing, and thanks for all the love out there. I
yeah, you got
appreciate
a lot of love out
everybody.
there. A lot of love. And hopefully, guys, you can join us at the exhibition. Stay tuned. We're going to give
Yes.
you guys some when Annamarie is going to be appearing at the next Resurrection exhibition, and we'll keep you guys informed. Annamarie, have a fantastic Sunday afternoon, and thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for your time.
Thank you. Same to you. Goodbye,
Cheers. Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.